That's amazing. And we'll learn more about how comics get to the big screen with Darren Denlinger.
This is the opening sequence to Winter Soldier.
Welcome to Marvel's Off the Rack. Moving on, last but not least, Tickled review. Okay, so I saw Tickled. I talked about it on our last BS Movie News of movies that I'm really looking forward to. A friend of mine, Carlos, he sent me this trailer, and I was like, "What the fuck is this movie? I have to see this." And so it was playing here at the New Art, and so I showed up and I saw it, and it was just as fucking good as I thought it was going to be, if not better. This is my favorite documentary since Jodorowsky's Dune. This was so well made. It's such a crazy story. It's so well edited and put together. The guys who created this are just like, Farrier and Reeve just fucking knocked it out of the park. I can't believe that it all starts with this silly, weird internet tickling video that turns into this dark, twisted tale of like fucking just craziness. Like, it's just insane, and there's just such great payoffs with this deal. Like, they follow the breadcrumbs all the way to this motherfucking witch's house, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like, it's crazy what goes on. I mean, and like, when the movie starts out, I was just like kind of laughing, like, oh, haha, this is so funny, ha ha ha. And then as you go on, you're like, oh my god, and it just gets worse and worse. I mean, it just gets deeper and deeper, and I was like, there's so much tension. Like, I was like, what? Okay, they're gonna like confront somebody on this, and like the cameraman's like breathing hard, and like I'm breathing hard. I'm just like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, you're gonna confront fire? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's insane. So, you know, I'm not sure what the deal is. I know it's like a limited release since it's an independent movie. I'm not sure if it's gonna get a wide release or not. If not, I'm sure you're gonna see it on VOD. I highly recommend it. It is such a dark, amazing story. I was just blown away by Tickled, the director's story. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, I almost forgot. So the plot thickens, all right? I read this article where, okay, so they just premiered the Tickled documentary. They had, I think, a premiere in New York, and they had one here in LA at the New Art. And Reeve was there, one of the filmmakers. One half of the duo was there. And the person that this documentary is about was in the audience, showed up to the premiere with somebody that they had also, like, that was working with them, that they had hired. And, like, before the Q&A, this guy Kevin, the hiree guy, starts threatening Reeve and saying, you know, like, oh, you better lawyer up, you know, like, da-da-da-da-da, like, trying to threaten him with all this stuff. And then, you know, the person who this documentary is about was in the audience, interrupted the Q&A, and was like being verbally abusive to the guy, you know, saying crazy shit. And apparently, like, he was being booed by everyone, you know, and it's just like, dude, give it up. Like, you've been caught, you fucking freak. You've been caught, you weirdo. So, yeah, it's like that. Like, I mean, the thing is like, it isn't even over for these guys. Like, it isn't even over for these filmmakers. They're still having to deal, because they just uncovered this monster, you know. They found a crazy monster, and they're having to still deal with it. So I'm sure there'll be continued news about this and like how it comes out. But the filmmakers do, they are rest assured. They're like, hey, you know, we checked with lawyers before we put this film out. Like, you know, everyone, they crossed their T's and dotted their I's. But one of the really ironic things is the Kevin guy was saying, he was like, well, you know, you guys were filming without our permission and using audio that we didn't know we were being recorded, and da-da-da-da-da, and all this stuff. And he's saying that they're upset because they're using footage and stuff that they didn't agree to, when in fact, what they did was have these kids come in, sign this agreement saying that this is a private thing, it's not public, whatever, and then publicly putting out these videos of these people with their names attached to it and all this stuff. So it's like, oh, the irony, you know? It's like, oh, so how do you like a taste of your own medicine, you fucking bastards? And it also, you know, when I was watching it, it really, like, made me start thinking about, you know, some shit that happened to me You know, like I was internet harassed for 4 years by somebody, you know, and I knew who it was. I knew who they were. And I didn't have any like concrete proof. You know, I did have certain like little things, like I saw what computer lab it was coming from a certain school that this certain person was going to, you know. I mean, it had consequential evidence or whatever the fuck it's called. I can't remember the C word for it. But yeah, and the thing is like this went on for 4 years. This person was leaving like fake Yelp reviews about like me. I was tattooing at the time and like going around saying that I was scarring people and saying like all this crazy, and they were getting infections and like crazy shit, you know, and like my bosses would be like, what the fuck are these terrible reviews, you know, and I'd have to explain that this is this crazy bipolar person who I had done nothing to, and that they decided to just, you know, I attract crazy people. Let's, you know, it's a thing, okay? Like they really, like people love me or they fucking hate me, you know? And it's like I don't even do anything. I'm just like standing here like doing me. So yeah, and I mean it got so bad that I remember like, you know, I even called up a lawyer at one point, and I was just like trying to like, what can I do? And nothing. Like there's nothing you can do about internet harassment, you know? I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. And like that's part of the stuff that goes on in this Tickled documentary is like this not only are these like poor kids like being kind of tricked, and not tricked, but they're being paid to do these weird videos, a lot of money, but then, you know, they end up getting blackmailed with this shit, you know, and stuff like that later, and it like ruins fucking their lives to a certain degree. It's really disturbing. Like it's really crazy, and it's crazy to me that there's like shit all you can do about it, you know, like, and that in this age like people can really fuck your shit up on the internet. And quite honestly, like starting the Comic Book Online Teen Show was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because A, you know, you can't leave a shitty Yelp review for my for my show, and B, like go ahead, talk shit, because there's 500 other assholes in the comments talking shit. Like your fucking troll comment will just get lost in the whole torrent of troll comments, you know. So it's like, so and they gave up too, you know. They eventually gave up, but I mean it was like 4 years before they gave up, and like I couldn't do anything about it. I just had to stay silent. So yeah, this movie was nuts. And it really highlights some issues that we have in our society and within the internet, and how powerless you are to kind of like stop certain things. Like people can just fuck your shit up, man. There's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, highly recommend Tickled documentary. It was fantastic. And next week we'll be back for more BS movie news. In the meantime, feel free to check out Epic History X-Men Volume 3, The Dark Phoenix Saga. It's on Vimeo on demand. Thank you to the thousands of people who have purchased it and have enjoyed it. You guys are awesome. We have been getting the best reviews. Even one guy on Twitter said that he took his son to see X-Men Apocalypse, and then him and his son watched Epic History Volumes 1, 2, and 3, and his son said, why didn't they just do this? Well, that's my question as well. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see you next week, guys, for more BS Movie News Live! Today, we'll be talking to Nathan Barnett.
Hello.
And later on, we'll be paying a visit to Bill Roseman.
Welcome to the heart and soul of Marvel.